Okay.
Okay.
I'm Alex Haugland.
And I'm Amy Haugland.
And this is our friend Chad and Audra Dannon's 1986 Citroën Mehari.
Welcome to a very special Portuguese episode of Everyday to Exotic.
Tequila con la sal, margarita especial. Si tú me das dos, yo me tiro en el mar. Dale vuelta y vuelta.
There's over 200 cars in the Haugland collection.
And it just keeps growing.
And our goal is to try and drive them all.
Coming up next on this special international episode of Everyday to Exotic.
We talk about how a World War II fighter pilot designed a plastic car.
Alex sums it up.
This is a toy. Amy continues her old deux chevaux driving habits. Turn off your turn signal.
Thank you. We'll recap our adventures of the past year.
And we'll decide whether to add a Citroën Mehari to our collection.
All this and more on today's special episode of Everyday to Exotic. But first, let's take a look into the car's history. The Citroën Mehari was introduced to the world in 1968. It was the brainchild of Count Roland de la Poype, a World War II French fighter ace who ran the company SEAB, or Société d'études d'application des brevets, roughly translated as the Patent Research and Applications Company, which was a supplier to Citroën.
Count Roland was inspired by seeing the British-made Mini Moke, but felt that the Moke's steel body was too rust-prone for the application of a beach and off-road car. In addition, he felt that the Moke's ride quality was too stiff and the ground clearance too low to be truly usable off-road.
To address these issues, the Mehari was built with a molded plastic body and provided with the drivetrain and suspension of a Citroën 2CV6. This made the car cheap to build and maintain, while providing a comfortable ride and reasonable ground clearance. To highlight the off-road characteristics, the name Mehari was chosen, as it is a word derived from Arabic for a type of fast-running dromedary camel used for racing and transport.
Having developed a prototype car, Count Roland presented it to Citroën, where it entered production and continued to be built until 1988, with a four-wheel drive variant being introduced in 1978. Production spread across the world, with cars being built not only in France, but under license or by subsidiaries in Spain, Argentina, Belgium, Yugoslavia, and also Portugal.
In all, over 144,000 Meharis were built, with 2 limited editions being thrown in for good measure. The one we're driving is one of those, being a Mehari Azure, featuring the white body with blue doors, grille, and soft top, along with blue and white upholstery. This car belongs to our friends Chad and Audra Dannon, who have it at their house on the coast in Portugal, and were kind enough to let us drive it and film it while visiting. All right.
Okay, so you're recording.
I'm recording. All right.
So really, this is a beach car. There was no intention for this to be anything really other than that. It's a utility vehicle. The name Mehari came from the fastest camel. This is definitely maybe as fast as the fastest camel. It's not as fast as anything else on the road, but it's at least as fast as the fastest camel. But the camel was basically used for racing and used for cargo. This is much more the cargo end of the camel. It actually can carry quite a bit. It does reasonably well even with 4 people in it. We were driving around with it with 4 adults in it not that long ago. It works reasonably well on these roads. It's not quick. It will go up hills, at least in 2nd and 3rd gear. Basically has no power in 4th gear, but it's a deux chevaux with the cool plastic body stuck on it. It's basically sort of a body kit on what otherwise was a very cheap economical car. You see the same type of thing done with VW Beetles and things like that. The VW Thing is kind of the same thing as this, just not made out of plastic and thus more prone to rust. Arguably, this might almost be a better vehicle for a lot of people, but serves basically the same kind of purpose.
So this is the exterior. It is not made of fiberglass. It is made of ABS plastic. This is a toy.
You are a toy!
I mean, it is literally made from the same thing that Power Wheels are, okay? That's what this is made of. It is lightweight. It's durable. Some of the older ones, however, the bodies are cracking that, you drive it around in the sunshine and the plastic will degrade. That's just the thing that happens. This one's really fun because it's got, it's got this fancy striping and, all that.
It is an Azure special model.
This is special edition.
Which basically means it's white with blue.
Yes. Which is very appropriate for the lovely oceanic atmosphere that we have out here. It's very, very corrugated. This causes problems when you are trying to film and attach GoPros to it, because they don't attach. I love the little blue doors. They've got all the little hooks and stuff for like side curtains and things like that. Same door handles as the GT. It's very much a what you see is what you get kind of car. There's nothing hidden, everything's exposed.
Other details, this car has side curtains that all mount to the doors and mount to the sides. With the side curtains on, you cannot get in the back through the side. You have a little footstep built into the side in order to theoretically get in and out of the car, but that doesn't work if you have the side curtains on.
It also doesn't work for me. I have a really hard time just clambering into the back. I have to get in the front, climb over the back of the front seats, and then get in the back. It's very athletic. I was doing that a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
Another fun thing that you can do with this car is you can take the top off and then fold down the windscreen. So you can, truly have a buggy with no extra car stuff, including things that keep the wind out of your face. Run around in your goggles if you want to. Here we are at the back of the car. Also pretty basic. It's very cool. You've got your fuel filler here, so you can put gas in the car. Tail lights, blinkers, little reflectors. Pretty standard. The hatch is kind of fun. Just these little levers. They aren't spring-loaded or anything. They're kind of like bathroom door locks. Flips down. Got straps to brace it. Push back up. Looks back down. Simple, easy. Which is one of the advantages about this car is everything is very simple. Welcome to the interior of the Mehari. It is more Spartan than the 2CV. But again, this is a beach buggy. You can hose it down. So some of the things are very similar. The pedals are in the same orientation. The key is in the same awkward place. The turn signals are here, forward, back.
They don't self-cancel.
They do not self-cancel. Here are your lights. Twisty, twisty, turn them on and off, and then forward and back for high beams, low beams. This is your parking brake. Looks just like the one in the 2CV. This is your choke. It lights up. This is the knob that tilts your headlights, which is kind of cool. So you can tilt them up or down by turning the knob. This is your shift lever, just like the one on the 2CV. This is your ashtray, because of course you're smoking while you're driving around the Portuguese countryside. This is your shelf. You have a shelf, you have a vent. The previous owner really liked Patagonia. There's stickers like that all over the place. This is your glove tray, which I'm actually not going to pull all the way out because that was not a happy noise.
It is currently locked, but you can see how secure it is as a locked glove box.
Yeah, I didn't know it was locked. Okay. Well, it's locked. That's why it's not pulling out. So, there are door pockets. I don't know if you can see the door pockets. That's, a piece of plastic there, but you can put stuff in it if you want to. We've got little things on this gauge that, you check your oil, lights are on. Well, this is the overhead light. This is lights are on. And then this one is your battery is having problems. You might want to check that. You have your heating controls as per usual. The heater in this is not extremely robust, but that's okay. It's the way it is. I don't know what that button is. It is not labeled. This is your hazards. This is your windshield wiper cleaner thing. And this is your windshield wipers. Other than that, there's a back seat. It doesn't have the cushion in it right now. So Normally there's a cushion. The cushion currently is not attached, as in, even when we have the cushion in, it's not attached. So there's a little bit of sliding.
Plan is to replace it with actually the proper cushions. What's in there is not actually the proper cushions or what came with the car.
Yeah, it's for now. Good enough for now. Spare tire. You know, it's honestly a very efficiently put together car. There's no frills, no wasted anything. The back seat, the back of the back seat, I should say. See that? That actually lifts out, and then you can lay it flat over the footwell for more cargo room. So that's also kind of cool. You know, more wine boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, you could fit a heck of a lot of wine in here.
Yes, it'll slow you down,
Yeah.
but you can fit a lot of wine in.
Yeah, I don't know. We're probably pushing like a dozen cases
Probably.
or more.
As is, if you're not calling friends, you can put like at least 3 down here, probably 3 there, and then a couple more in the back. So, something I think is kind of cool actually is the way that the seat belts are. They have a little hook. So you just have, can you see that? You just have lap belts. And so you don't have them flopping all over the car. You just hook them up there when you're not using them. It's, it's tidy.
You'll also notice there are some little Citroen bits on this, such as these, which are the things that hold the side screen on. They're the same things that hold windows up on the 2CV when the window is flipped up.
Oh yeah, that's that little latch.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pop that in.
Okay.
All right.
And that's it for the interior.
Yeah, that's it for the interior.
Underneath this car, there's basically nothing different than the 2CV we've done earlier. So we're going to go through this really, really quickly. The hood is held down by straps that you unbuckle to open it and is made entirely out of plastic and flips up like so. And basically, voila, we have a 2 chevaux engine bay. We have our jack over there. We've got the same kind of heater setup that we had on the 2 chevaux. Same engine with alternator, carburetor, air filter, minor little differences in positioning of things, but not really that much. Other interesting things is we've got a nice block of wood here. That's to wedge your tire when you're jacking the car up. Has a little holder. Otherwise, same little, like, shift the transmission by waving that about. The LHM brakes, inboard discs, pretty much identical to the 2 chevaux that we've covered earlier. So if you have questions about it, go watch that video. So it'll be a hell of a lot better produced. That said, this is basically the same thing underneath. It has the same suspension that Citroën did on the 2 chevaux. It's pretty much the same kind of car. It's a little bit lighter, so a little bit better performance just because you're pushing a little bit less weight. That's what happens when you make a car entirely out of plastic. So be it. That's mechanicals.
That end.
Did you stop it?
No.
Driving the Mehari is a lot like driving the 2CV, and it helps if I have any clue as to where the hell I'm going. Welcome to Portugal. Here we go.
All right.
And this thing is a lot like driving the 2CV, but it's kind of perfect for this environment. I mean, these are little narrow roads. You aren't going fast anywhere here. You're not getting on the highways or anything. We're right next to the coast. This is a beach car.
It feels like you're going on Jurassic Park safari and you're a Lego. You know, it's that kind of...
Having all the windows open and everything to top up, or windows gone, I should say, this is side screens. It doesn't actually have windows per se. Ventilation's great, but at the same time, if you're driving this in the rain, it'd be kind of miserable. It's not really intended to be an everyday car. And so I may not judge it necessarily as an everyday car.
No, this is a very special episode.
Yeah.
We can do things a little differently this time.
It is a fun little car to drive. It is not tricky to drive in a way that I don't really enjoy the 2CV as much, because I think of the 2CV as a city car. This is a little bit of a different creature. It is not a great car. It is not a fast car. It's sort of its own unique thing. This is a toy. It is made almost entirely out of plastic. The entire body is made out of plastic. So there's not really any risk of rust in the body itself. I mean, chassis, different story. Suspension is just like the 2CV, which feels like it's like designed out of like extra vent springs or something. It is terribly uncomfortable for me to drive because I am sitting right now with the seat back as far as it will possibly go. And as is, my knees are into the steering wheel. This is a much more Amy-sized car as far as driving position. I would not recommend this for anyone 6 foot tall or anywhere close to. It has the same problems as the 2CV. The turn signals do not self-cancel. Hills are an adventure. We're going up one now. Get the revs up. Yesterday we were driving around in this with 4 people in it. And it actually did okay. It was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. I agree with you. This one is way more fun.
Yeah.
And I also feel like this really is its natural environment.
Yes. They built these in Portugal. It's a French car in design and everything, but they built Duchavos and Meharis in Portugal. This one's a pretty late one, probably one of the last that they were making, to be honest. I can't remember, I think it's like an 85 or something like that.
Yeah.
But definitely just kind of a neat little beach car.
And I love how low traffic the roads out here are.
Yes.
It's just very...
Which also suits us well. It doesn't matter that I can't go 65 miles an hour. No one else is going 65 miles an hour out here either.
Exactly. We're not going to take this into downtown Óbidos.
Nope. We're not going to drive this into Lisbon.
No,
That would involve going on the highways. This car does not go on the highways.
No.
But it does just fine in this environment.
It gets a lot of attention. Mostly.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, what a beautiful view. Unfortunately, our rear camera, won't stay attached, so we can't show you guys this absolutely stunning view. Again, we don't have Joel on this trip.
Yeah. So this is the budget version of Everyday to Exotic. This is what you get when you don't bother to actually have anyone who knows what the hell they're doing with cameras. So it's pretty limited what we can do here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can drive off into the sand with all the puddles and everything. Just doesn't care.
Okay. Do you want to drive partway back and talk?
Okay. Okay.
Turn off your turn signal. Keep going.
So one of the things that you may have noticed, if we keep that footage in, is that we didn't change the seating position at all for me to drive this car.
Seat is still as far back as it goes.
Yep. And I'm in a relatively comfortable seating position right now. The steering wheel is at a weird angle.
Yeah.
It's just a strange angle. I feel like I'm driving a bus.
Or shift the third. Straight back, just as far back as it goes. Go.
Okay. So I'm just cruising along. I'm not paying a lot of attention to my speed. I'm just kind of driving at a speed that feels safe because honestly, I'm not going to speed in this car. It would be very, very difficult. I would have to really make an effort.
You can, but
I can just cruise along in third and it's totally happy. It does not care. Again, you have that wonderful little torquey engine. You can kill it, but it is difficult. It's a very functional little car.
it's a Power Wheel for grown-ups.
It is a Power Wheel for grown-ups. I mean, I wanted a Power Wheel so bad when I was a little kid.
The Barbie Jeep or something?
The Barbie Jeep. Well, maybe not the Barbie Jeep, but they had another Jeep. They had, later on, of course, when I was much, much too old to even fit in one, they had a Star Wars land speeder. It was the coolest thing. I saw it at Toys R Us, and I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah.
That would have been the best. But anyway, so this is basically sort of the Barbie Jeep
Yes.
for grown-ups. it doesn't have a lot of things to mitigate squeaks or rattles or anything like that. It's a toy.
The suspension's basically the same as the Duke
It's awesome.
So it's actually pretty good. I mean, it rattles the entire car, but everything rattles this car.
Yes. It kind of just goes to show how good a car can be in its natural environment when it is doing what it was built for.
I mean, this kind of does highlight a little bit that we may have been a little bit unfair on the 2CV, especially me, the Duchevaux, just because of the fact that its natural habitat is not the United States.
No.
But in general, that's where we're driving these cars. And that's generally what we're going to review against is how well does this work as an everyday car in the US?
I mean, the 2CV would probably be great here. In some ways. Oh man, I'm just like flooring it.
Yeah,
and it's
well,
like
climbing a hill, we can do it, we can do it. Slow down, turn right.
Whoa, here we go.
Don't have to rub it quite that much.
Yeah, I'm always...
You can spin the tires on the Mehari.
Woohoo! Yeah, so it's...
Push, straight,
and push.
And then down the hill. Don't ride the clutch.
Yeah.
Turn off your turn signal.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, some things are exactly the same.
They're exactly the same, including the way that I drive them.
Okay, mind the dog, cat, thingy.
Where?
Panda, we win.
Panda, cat.
Yeah, cat.
The panda in question is like...
painted on a gate and is a landmark.
Yep, it's how we know we have made the correct turn.
There are lots of pandas in Portugal, except that they're made by Fiat.
Yeah. Foreshadowing. Not for this episode.
4x foreshadowing.
4x foreshadowing! Anyway, okay, so all in all, this is a really fun car. And if we lived in Portugal, in this neighborhood especially, you know, this would be a great car for that. Well, that was a fun adventure, and now we're back in the United States.
So because the Citroën Mehari is not actually a car in the Haugland collection, we're not going to rank it as if it were. It really doesn't seem right since we actually don't own it. What seems to make more sense to me is, would we add one to the Haugland collection? Why not? So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to look at it that way.
So I had a blast driving that car. I know that I didn't drive it extremely proficiently, but it still got that kind of deux chevaux, weird shifter, and also it wasn't my car, so it made me a little bit nervous. But it was really, really fun.
To be honest, I actually enjoyed driving it more than I expected I would. I think a lot of that has to do with the environment that I was in.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, it is a fun car to drive. It has a miserable driving position. Even with the seat all the way back, I'm too tall for it, I feel like. But it's fun driving silly things. I mean, it really is an adult Power Wheel.
And I really felt like, speaking to that point, that the driving position helps emphasize the I'm driving a toy feel of the car. Because it's like, okay, this is too small for me. And so therefore, you know, it's not a real car. I mean, it is a real car, but it feels more like I'm doing this for fun. It's a novelty as opposed to I'm going to take this on the freeway, which I won't.
As far as adding it to the collection, the big downside, I think, really is it is the right car for the place.
Yes.
And having talked to Chad about why he bought this thing in the first place, it's really kind of interesting because his story was he found one for sale in the United States. And a good friend of his basically said, "Are you insane? Why would you buy this? Wait until you have a house in the south of France or something, because that's where these things belong." And so he did. He waited until he had a house in Portugal, not south of France, and then bought his Mehari, which honestly, it really is the right car for that place.
And it's so nice for, oh, well, we're just going to go down the road to the beach. You can park it pretty much anywhere. It's not indestructible, but nobody's going to steal that.
Well, they might, but...
Well, maybe, but...
They're not going to get away too quick.
No, you can chase them down.
So I think really what it comes down to is this. It isn't really a great vehicle to drive it in Oregon, in the United States. The weather equipment is nice for sunny days, but it's not really a great all-weather car. We've got convertibles, so that's not really a good argument on its own right, but it suffers from a lot of the same issues as the Deux Chevaux.
Speaking to the weather issues, the Mehari has windows that snap on. I mean, it doesn't have real windows. So in Oregon, no.
And the Deux Chevaux itself, I probably would have rated a lot better, honestly, if I'd been driving it in a similar environment as opposed to around a modern city in the United States with a bunch of SUVs and other huge cars and things that really don't fit the environment that it was designed for. I would probably wait to buy one. I could see us adding one to the collection, but only after we buy our place in the south of France.
I agree. In the south of France, if we live near the coast and just wanted to drive it to a winery or something like that, it would be absolutely lovely.
Maybe on the coast of Mexico. I mean, it really is kind of a beach car. The kind of environment where you could basically get around and spend most of your time driving a golf cart, it would be perfect for, because it kind of is a golf cart.
Absolutely. So I would say maybe someday we would add one to the collection, but not anytime soon.
Yeah.
Wow, can you believe it's been an entire year since we started this channel?
It's been a huge amount of work getting this put together, but in a lot of ways, it really has paid off, and the statistics really show exactly how much you all are appreciating this.
Let's look at some of those stats.
We published our first episode December 21st, 2023.
As of January 2025, our YouTube channel has
20 car showcases,
13 hours, 4 minutes, 28 seconds of full-length videos,
over 4,000 subscribers,
1.2 million total views,
and over 24,000 hours watched.
Also, 10 on-camera knitting projects completed.
Of course, that's important.
Very important.
Of the over 200 cars in the Haugland collection, we've covered less than 10%. There's still a lot more to go.
Have you missed any of our episodes? Here's a recap of what we've done so far.
Our 1971 Alfa Romeo Montreal,
1961 Porsche 356B Roadster,
1948 MGTC,
1976 Ferrari 308 GTB,
a 1972 Datsun 240Z,
1970 Mercedes 280 SL,
a 2005 Morgan Aero 8,
1965 Volvo Amazon 122S,
2014 Lotus Evora S,
1972 BMW 3.0 CS,
a 1973 Triumph Stag,
1959 Fiat Abarth 750 GT Zagato,
a 1949 Bentley Mark VI Standard Steel Saloon,
1986 Porsche 944 Turbo,
a 1968 Lamborghini Espada,
1955 Austin Healey 100S Replica,
a 1976 Citroën Deux Chevaux,
1967 Sunbeam Tiger Mark II,
a 1974 Maserati Bora,
and our 1972 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. Of course, we couldn't do it on our own. There's a lot of effort that goes into each episode. People are often surprised how small our team really is.
Bobby is our curator. He does a lot of the work detailing the cars, making sure they're being tended to, and working around the shop.
His son, Liam, is our production assistant, who helps out on days we're filming.
Joel is our director and editor. He films all the content and edits it together into everything you see, making each episode a unique and special reflection on each car in the collection.
Jeff is relatively new to our team and has been assisting in responding to your comments and editing all the shorts we post to our social media.
And that's it. We don't have a full production company or studio to help us out. Just a small team of people who love these cars and who enjoy working together and having fun while doing it. We are planning on continuing to do this. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. We're still figuring this out. There's still things that we can do to change and tweak to get the formula just right. If there are things you feel that we should be doing or that we should cover, please let us know.
We also have a lot of fun stuff in the planning stages, as it were. We're working on trying to put together some kind of everyday to exotic community, not just on YouTube.
We also might start giving you a little bit more of a peek behind the scenes. Having one more person on staff here has made it a lot easier for us to start approaching that.
Be sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends so you'll be the first to know when that stuff comes out. Thanks so much for joining us on this very special episode of Everyday to Exotic and for sticking with us for an entire year.
We're about to start releasing season 3 shortly, and we're going to begin with a very special car built by MG.
So from all of us here at Everyday to Exotic, see you next time. Bye!
Bye!
All right, that's good.
This channel has been a big educational experience for both of us.
Heck yes.
Okay.
What, you don't want to keep heck yes?
No, just it's a heck yes.